So I went to the hospital. Everything physically minor
Minnesota head coach Ben Johnson. Questions for Coach? Ben, when you look at the way that you guys started the game with so much confidence, so much energy, I mean, you talked about you wanted to mean more to your guys than the other guys. It really seemed like that.
Yeah, no, it did. I think we talk about being process driven all the time, and that's, to me, that's what it is. When you trust the process and you do what we do on both sides of the ball, the result can be what the result was. Like I told them, don't get caught up in what the run was. I don't know if it was 22-11 or whatever it happened to be. Good teams, that's not the point. It's the process of what did you do to get it there? The result is a byproduct of the process, and you believe in that and staying true to it. And I just think our guys have a lot of belief right now. They now have won, and so they understand what our winning looks like. It's different than what Penn State or Michigan State or Northwestern's looks like. For us to win games, we got to do certain things, and I think we're really starting to figure that out and owning that.
So a typical 7 assists from Elijah, but obviously scoring career high 24. What do you think was clicking for him, scoring wise?
Yeah, I thought he got into a rhythm and just took good shots and was aggressive. I thought he took what the defense gave him. A couple of times he got into the gap. His finishings were better around the rim. He's been working his butt off on finishes, and I thought he took a step there today. His catch and shoot threes. I've always been there to go 4 for 5. He's been working on that too. Not shooting it and sprinting to half court, but sticking with the shot. And as I thought, he's a guy that we know obviously can distribute the ball, but I think people forget, he's a pretty good scorer.
Coach, how fun is it to coach, and how fun is it for your players to play in an atmosphere like today? Not a sellout, but still the crowd was energetic from the opening tip.
Yeah, no, it was great. I want to thank the students. I thought they were awesome. The thing was packed. Thank our fans. The energy was there. We needed them a couple times, especially when we had the lead, to extend it. The energy and their juice, we felt them the whole game. It's to win at a high level. I've said it a lot. You got to have both, right? You have to have fan engagement. You got to have fan turnout. You got to have fan involvement, and you also have to play really well as a team. And we're slowly starting to really combine those two things.
How do you get these guys to focus on game by game versus the big picture? Obviously the goal is to go dancing, but it's focusing on each game. How do you get 18 to 24-year-old kids to do that?
Threaten them. No, I'm just kidding. No, I talk a lot about, obviously we know what the schedule is. The future is what it is. It's going to be there no matter what happens, right? So the worst thing you want to do is worry so much about that you forget about the only thing you can control, which is the right now. And if you control the right now and you do what you're supposed to do, and we do what we're supposed to do, and you're engaged and you're focused, the future will be hopefully bright and pretty positive. I think you lose your way when you get caught up in stuff you can't control and you forget about the here and now, and all of a sudden you slip, right? And there's a lot of slippage offensively, defensively. Then you might slip in the game. Well, then the future doesn't matter because you didn't take care of the now. So we just talk about that. You got to live in the moment. You got to worry about today. Tomorrow we want to have the best film breakdown practice we've had, the best walkthrough we've had, and just consume yourself with tomorrow. And then the next day, consume yourself with the next day. And then on that game day, that's the only thing that matters, is that game. And I think if you could kind of shrink it down to just that, it becomes easier for these guys. Because again, I know they get hit with a bunch of stuff and it's easy to let your mind wander, but if you don't take care of today, that stuff in the future doesn't matter.
Ben, you talk about process driven, you talk about having blinders on. Did you sense from the guys that meant a little bit more with Jamison and what happened in Columbus?
Yeah, I don't know if it meant, I'm sure there was a little bit there, but I think it was more of they know how much, protecting home matters. And I think that was a big part of it. I'm sure, some of it from last game too is this is a revenge game in terms of we didn't want to get swept. We talk about that. If you can split with the team, that's what you want to do. And so I think there was probably a combination of all of those things, but I think the majority of it was they understand and they're bought into the right now. And man, don't waste opportunities to play well when we're playing well. And I think we're playing well right now.
You mentioned Elijah working on finishing. It seemed like tonight, especially early on, he was more aggressive at trying to get to the rim. Is that something that's been a focus, or was it more just taking what the defense was giving you?
Yeah, I think it was their ball screen coverage, so they ice a lot, and so you're able to snake it and get underneath. And when you get underneath, it's going to be a 2-on-1 with the big and the roller. So, with him, because of his size, when there's 2 on the ball, obviously it's a little bit hard for him to turn it. But it's a 1-on-1 and it's speed versus space. He's pretty good at taking space. And so I think it was just probably more of a byproduct of their coverage more than anything. But he's really worked, and we've talked to him a bunch about just, different finishes and being able to get body contact and having touch around the rim and focus around the rim. Because if he can add that and he can add that mid-range part, especially for next year, that totally changes what we're able to do offensively.
Ben, Dawson and Pharrell combined for 37 and 13 tonight. Have they kind of established themselves as one of the more dominant front courts in the league?
I think they're up there for sure. I've always thought that. Now they're really in a rhythm. I think they do a pretty good job of playing off one another. They're kind of, thunder and lightning a little bit. But, you talk about Pharrell and just what he's done the last couple weeks. Super proud of just his approach. Today at the free throw line, 5 of 7, and it looks confident and it looks clean. There's no back down. Now he's demanding the ball, and now it's not a million fakes. He's going to his 1 or 2 moves, and it's like at the rim bucket. But he's just the confidence, and then defensively, what those 2 guys do as far as just being an anchor of our defense. We're not doing this without those 2 guys and their mindset defensively. And then you add what Braden brings to the table. I thought Fox had big time energy today, just with his moves and attacking the rim and not settling, being physical. I thought he had a ton of energy.
Where's this team improved the most, you think, from the last time you played Ohio State?
Understanding how to win, by far. But that's always been, the concern in the process at the same time. When you got a new group, even though we got a couple older guys, winning at this level, winning in this league, and like what goes into that, that's been the hardest part, and they're figuring that part out. And so now it's our job as coaches. We got to keep putting them in position to be successful, but they can't lose the edge that it takes to win, whether you're home or away.
Coach, what goes into getting your team to play at their best each and every night? Because you guys have shown flashes to be one of the best teams in the Big Ten, and then there are other nights where it seems like you kind of play down to your opponents.
I think this is the maturity of our team. I think for the most part, if you look across the league, I don't remember too many games, probably none, honestly, that we just didn't show up, right? And so now it's those stretches of maybe having a lull here or there for 4 or 5 minutes, or letting a team have a run. But that comes with just maturity. We think we've been pretty good at home, and now it's like on the road. Don't change, right? Don't change your mentality. And again, that's, I think the next step is to take it on the road and be able to try to steal one here towards the end of the year.
Ben, you got any post-game traditions after a win like tonight?
That's a good question. No, not really.
Not really?
No, go home, pretty boring. Watch the film again, figure out practice for tomorrow, figure out how to keep it going.
Ben, who do you think was more persistent tonight, your team or the fans booing Jamison the entire game?
I'm gonna be careful how I answer that. No, I just thought, again, I just thought the crowd atmosphere was really good. That's not me saying I like the booing. It was just more like the energy that they brought. Again, I just can't. We go on the road, so I see it. Every road game we're at, like that's half the battle is you're battling the environment in this league, and I think that's what separates this league from every other power league is that from top to bottom, you're going to atmospheres. Like we're going this weekend, it's a zoo there, right? You go to Penn State, you saw against Illinois, it's a zoo. Like there's no nights off, and the mental toughness that it takes to battle the team and then also the environment and not get lost is huge. And we can make this and are making this just like that, like every other place we go to. And this is a place that I know when it's like that and the energy's like that, that teams don't want to be here. I mean, there's times where I know our guys, I get mad at them, but they can't hear certain coverages, or guys can't hear maybe a play call, and it's because it is so loud. And so we're just really appreciative of the energy that the building brings because we feed off that, and just the importance of keep coming out, keep showing up. I think we've proven as a team, you know, that we're fun to watch. We compete, we play hard, we have a good product, and we have our fans behind us like today. This is a special place.
All right, thanks, Coach.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh,
Congrats, coach.
Thank you, sir. See you.
Kira. Kira.
No, not really. You know, just trying to win. That's really it.
Elijah, what do you think is the biggest difference from this team since the last time you guys played Ohio State?
I feel like we've grown a lot. You know, Dawson always been a road dog for us. You know, and you know everybody got to step up. So at some point it came to a point where you know everyone had to step in, and fulfill the role that was needed for us to win.
Dawson, what your thoughts on that? Just the last time you guys played Ohio State till now?
Yeah, last time played Ohio State, you know, they got us in the first half, came back strong in the second. But we're a completely different team. We're just gonna keep riding this momentum and not get close to satisfied because we want more and more each day.
Ben talked about the biggest difference being kind of understanding how to win. What do you guys think when you hear that about the elements that go into that you guys are grasping now that may be eluding you weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, we just understanding how much goes into winning, how it's just all the little things each and every day, and not taking any day or any rep for granted because it all matters. I think just really learning and understanding about how you do one thing is how you do everything. It's helped us out a lot.
Elijah, is there any significance to your 3 necklace? Maybe missing just 1 3-pointer today or something else?
No, it's just a family number. Yeah, that's really it. I've worked all my life, so I had this for a while.
Dawson, as a former teammate of Jameson, and what he did in that last game in Columbus, what did it mean to you guys to come out like this? Was there something a little extra to it given that?
No, I mean, it's nothing personal, you know, it's just business at the end of the day, and they were just another team that was unfortunately in the way for them, so we just came out and did what we did.
Elijah, a lot of times it seems like you have this way of kind of fooling defenders into thinking that you picked up your dribble, but you keep it going. I guess, is that something that you've done for a long time? Is that a skill you've developed with it?
I've been doing that for a little while now. I'm just quick, so, you know, when I get someone leaning, I just, you know, take advantage.
There's that point, kind of in the Rutgers game when you had a big lead and it was dwindling a couple times. The second half it happened, but you hit your free throws at the end, and Dawson made some big plays. Is that the difference, do you think, in what he's talking about, learning how to win?
Yeah, for sure. You know, me and Dawson are leaders of the team. You know, we're the voices, I feel like, on the team. So I feel like, you know, with us, when we get it going, you know, everybody else starts to, you know, follow in. So yeah.
Dawson, you and Farrell combined from 37 and 13 tonight. Do you feel like you guys are establishing yourselves as one of the best front courts in the league?
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, me and Pharrell always, you know, felt like that internally. And so just now it's just continuing to just go out and show it each and every night. Because I got the utmost confidence in him, and he is same for him for me.
Do you guys feel like you've been doing anything differently to respond to opponents' runs? It seemed like this game was kind of a little bit more limited. You dominated the whole game. Is there anything else that you're doing to stop those?
I say it just comes down to leaders and leadership and consistent huddles on the court as well. Just it doesn't matter if something goes good, something goes bad, or you know something just happens that doesn't affect the game either way. We just come together, meet as a team, and talk about things that we see and things that we want to do moving forward.
Are you leading those huddles, Dawson?
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely part of the leadership in those huddles, and we got guys like E, and really a lot of guys. You know, Cam steps in there. I mean, for a freshman, he's the one calling us over sometimes too. So it's really just a collective effort, and that's what's special about this group.
Dawson, Ben called you and Farrell Thunder and Lightning. Do you think that nickname has any legs?
Hey,
Or?
which one am I?
I guess we call you Lightning, right?
Nah, yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's cool. We should try to trademark that, I guess.
For either of you, there was a sequence in the second half. Parker wins a loose ball over Jameson that leads to a Cam Christie 3. Does a play like that just kind of break the will of your opponent because you guys were up 13 at that point?
Yeah, I should remember that. I remember that play exactly. I was on the bench and I turned to Coach Kemp and I was just like, obviously Parker made the play happen, but I was just like time and time again, you know, Cam's making these big time shots to end runs and stuff like that. So I just told Kemp, I was just telling him he's built for this. He's built for this. And yeah, so I remember that moment exactly.
Okay. Anything else for the athletes? All right. Thanks, guys.